Welcome to my homestead journey up until this point. This all started a few years ago when I moved to a new city for a new job and lived in a single bedroom apartment for about 3 months. After that, I said, I am done living in the city, so I bought this 8.5 acre property. Yep, that right there, that's all mine. I woke up one day and realized everything I've ever been told has been a lie. And it was time for me to buy my own homestead and start living more self-sufficiently. I bought this old nursery from a lady that just went out of business and she couldn't run it anymore. So I bought the property, and first thing I had to do was start clearing the land. I bought a chainsaw, decided to learn how to cut trees, and it didn't take me very long to realize things were going to be a lot more difficult than I originally expected. But some things started working out for me. And some things turned out to be harder than I expected.
It's like they cemented them in there. Gee.
And some things were just a lot more work. Not physically harder, but just time consuming. Clearing brush, getting the property ready for building. And then right after that, it was time for the groundbreaking. And that's right, if you're thinking, did this guy paint his shovel gold just for this video? You're darn right I did. I still use that shovel to this day. Now I have a gold shovel. And it wasn't even a week later, they already started pouring concrete. The electric company came out and installed the electric pole, and just like that, I had electric. Now I still had a lot of stuff to do on my own, like replant this tree and get it out of the way for the construction crew so they can continue building the house. And once the concrete dried, things started happening very quickly. You can see the septic guy came out. Those two little green caps right there in the ground, those are my septic tanks. And just like that, all the framing started being completed. I started getting a lot more wood delivered every single day. And every week I'd come out, a little bit more was built, floor by floor, wall by wall, and a lot more wood was being delivered. There was just more and more stuff being delivered, being done, and the house frame went up pretty quickly. The Amish actually did all the framing of the house, and let me tell you, these guys will work in 100-degree temperatures. They don't care. They started getting a lot of the inside of the house framed up so I could start seeing the layout of what was going to be what. Now, it's one thing to see things on paper, but once you actually see them being built and seeing what things are going to actually look like, it's a whole nother level of excitement. If you've ever built a house, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the best part is the deck. Also, we got the windows installed. I guess they're waiting for the deck. I got some of the waterproof membrane installed this week, and pretty soon the tin siding is getting ready to go on. But I just cannot stop looking at all the details on the inside of the house, visualizing what's going to be what's going to go where. This is going to be my spare bedroom / hobby room.
It's so much to look at. That's the problem. This is gonna be the master bedroom.
My big bay windows. You can see I couldn't have put bigger windows in if I wanted to.
This used to be my view. I'm gonna eventually tear down that stuff there.
I think I spent hours in visualizing what's gonna be where and what it's all gonna look like when it's done.
Double vanity right here. The toilet right there. Nice big walk-in shower right here. Let me get back a view of it.
And definitely last but not least, let's not forget the 40 by 40 garage I had built on, which makes it an actual Barndominium. This has just been an amazing adventure so far up until this point. All the work, all the planning, all the prep, to see it all finally come together is just amazing. This is the first time I've ever actually had a house built. I've owned houses. The first time I've actually had it built. We're getting everything together so far. Every week I come out, there's more and more progress, more siding going on, more tin going on, and things are starting to get wrapped up. I got all my spray foam insulation done. They spray foamed the entire house. And I've used the small space heater in the wintertime, little torpedo heater, and this garage doesn't lose any heat at all. I did not do radiant floor heating, but I don't think I'm going to need it living in Kentucky. It really doesn't get that cold here. And the only thing left for the contractors to do is put up the rest of the drywall and install my garage doors, which I got done here in this video. Went with the black trim with the gray siding, and I originally did that design because not a lot of other people were doing it. Now I'm starting to see it more and more. Up until this point, it was the contractor's turn. Now it's my turn. As I sat here and looked at this empty shell of a house, I started realizing how much work I'm actually going to have to be doing. Started with all the painting, and everything, including the painting, took a lot longer than I expected and a lot more materials than I expected. I bought 20 gallons for the entire house of primer, and let me tell you, that drywall sucks up the primer. I ended up using 40 gallons for the entire house. I used 36 gallons just for the epoxy itself, for these floors. I did these epoxy floors. I've done smaller projects with epoxy, but nothing at this caliber. Like I said, it took 36 gallons, but if you want it done, you got to do it right, and you got to put it on thick for it to last. And to try to save some money, I bought a few things like this old vanity from my downstairs bathroom and restored it. I restored that, a couple tables, a couple side tables, but when it came to the showers and tubs, there was no restoring. There was nothing to restore. It was all start from scratch. So I did all the tile work myself, watched a bunch of videos on YouTube, read a couple books. I said, hey, this isn't so bad. About halfway through, though, I realized this is bad. This is hard. To get it to look good, this is extremely hard. But I can't quit here. I got to keep on going. I'm already halfway through, and it ended up looking all right in the end. But some of this stuff was a lot harder than I expected. And I had a few accidents along the way, spilling some water and forgetting to put some seals in. But
Well, look at that.
that's how you learn, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's called trial and error. I even did all the electrical fixtures myself. I wasn't allowed to run all the electric wires myself because I wasn't licensed, and I had to do a 6-month on-the-job training just to take the test. So I decided against it. But I did all the hookups, all the in-ceiling lights, all the ceiling fans, all the light fixtures. Even decided to start doing some woodwork myself because I got a quote for $4,000 to put stairs in. So I said, I can do that. Including tools, it was less than $400. Then I got the genius idea I was going to redo my own kitchen cabinets I bought. That turned out to be not such a good idea. And then in the end, I ended up saying, you know what? I'm just going to build my own cabinets. You can see the old ones in the background. They didn't turn out so bad, but those are going to be garage cabinets now. I got my jigsaw out, and this was the most terrifying cut. This was a $400 piece of butcher block for my countertops, and I had to cut that hole for my kitchen sink. But guess what? Turned out all right. I was getting so close to finishing the house and getting ready for inspection with all the last-minute faucets, the garbage disposals. Then I was at Lowe's and thought, you know what? This little rock wall will look cool. Even though I thought I'd never do tile again, here I am a couple weeks later doing more tile. The hardest thing about this was I'm doing all this. There's no contractor to blame. There's no one to call back for a refund, come back and fix a warranty. This is all on me, this entire project. And this is just the beginning of all my homestead projects. This summer I have a ton more in stock. I'm going to be doing gardening, solar, water collection, and so much more. So if you haven't already, click subscribe and welcome to the Eccentric Homestead.